Hello everyone, so today in this video we're going to rank all of the runes that deals damage in RPG Simulator, starting from the weakest to the strongest rune. So before that, we need to set the rules. So the first rule is that each rune has 30 seconds to deal as much damage as possible. We're only going to be using their skills and auto attacks with no buffs such as Calamity. The third rule is that we are going to use the same equipments and same stats that we currently have. And the fourth is that each rune has 3 attempts and we're going to get the highest damage in each attempt. So with that in mind, let's start the video. So the weakest rune in the game is the rune of the Silencer. It only deals 1.53 billion damage, and I think the reason for this is that this rune is mainly for debuffs, so it doesn't really need a lot of damage. So the top turn rune in the RPG Simulator is the rune of the Blade with 4.2 billion damage. The reason for this is that its auto attack has a triple damage buff, so it really is pretty decent. Top 9 is the rune of Striking with 5.25 billion damage. The reason why it ranks so low is due to the fact that I only deal critical damage half of the time. And maybe if I have higher critical chance, it will get a lot higher. Top 8 is the rune of the Shadow with 7.11 billion damage. The reason for this is that this rune is mainly for crowd control, for controlling or stunning the enemy, so it doesn't really need a lot of damage. So it's pretty good still. Now the top 7 and top 6 is actually pretty interchangeable. The top 7 is the rune of Hurricane with 8.25 billion damage, and the top 6 is the Lunar Eclipse rune with 8.31 billion damage. And the reason for this is that I actually cast a Lunar skill at the very last second of the attempt, so it is an added damage, and if I probably didn't do that, Hurricane will be top 6 right now, so it's actually pretty complicated. Now with the top 5, it is the Shattered rune of the Buttler with 8.47 billion damage. This is actually the most consistent rune out of all the runes in this game, so it actually deserves this spot. In the top 4 spot, it is the rune of the Ice Queen with 10.49 billion damage, which is actually really surprising because we considered it as a farming tool or the farming rune, so it is actually pretty strong. Now in our top 3 spot, it is the rune of Holy Light with 10.83 billion damage. To be honest, I expect this rune to be the strongest rune in the game because it's really hard to obtain, but it is what it is. So the second strongest rune in the game is the Azure Phoenix with 11.61 billion damage. And I expect this rune to be at least in the top 3, and it didn't disappoint. It really is one of the strongest rune in the game. And now, the highest damaging rune in the game, or probably the most strongest rune in the game, is the Flame God rune with 13.63 billion damage. This is 2 billion damage more than the Azure Phoenix, which shows how strong it is. So yeah, we have a very clear winner who has the highest damaging rune in the game, and that is the rune of Flame God. But to be honest, I still prefer the rune of Light because of its defensive capability due to the Cloak of Light. That is just my opinion though, so if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. See you guys next time. See ya!